Hi, Team Resolute Christians. Welcome if you're new here, and welcome back if you're already a resident here. Well, this is where we discuss current affair from a Christian's perspective, the spoken word, and the prophetic. And if that is something that you're interested in, do hit the subscribe and the like button for more. So, now where have I been, Resolute Christians? Okay, so I have been off for about a month, which is not something that I usually do. You do expect my videos every week, and I have been away actually, and that is not by premeditated choice, but the Lord was basically leading me into a retreat, into a place in a time of solemn and dedicated time with Him. And so, what actually happened was in January, I started a 21-day fast, and in that fast, I was praying to the Lord concerning the year, speaking into the year, and starting off, the year on the right foot. And I ended the fast, and I just still felt like, what I wasn't done. It felt like I wasn't done. I felt like the spiritual journey wasn't done. I still needed to dive in deeper, but I was like, okay, I need to get back into, my work, get back into everything that I'm doing. And so I kind of tried to hold it off. I tried to just keep going, keep working, keep doing what I do. And so, I just kept going, and based on the nature of the work that I do. So for instance, part of this channel is to talk about current affairs. I have to keep deep diving into sometimes pop culture. Okay, so things that are happening in the media, and very very uh, one would say worldly or distracting things. And so I was struggling actually to do that because I had no interest whatsoever in researching these things, and I just was really struggling. There was this struggle spiritually between, do I just do what I gotta do, or do I listen to the voice that is speaking to me? Just let go of everything. I let go of every social media. Just let go of my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything, and just spend time with the Lord. And guys, it's been such a beautiful time. The Lord has sharpened my spiritual senses, spoken to me concerning my life more directly, and it is something that was just beautiful. So, what do you actually do during a retreat? So, within my retreat, you spend more dedicated time with the Word. Of course, we already read the Word, on a daily, but in your retreat, you take a more deeper emphasis on the word. So you spend more time meditating on the word. You spend more time researching the word. It was also a time of solemnness and being separated. And to be honest, I'm still in that season. I'm very much in that season of being separated and in solemnness, and that's because that journey hasn't ended, but the retreat ended, but that part hasn't ended for me yet. But you find yourself in a place of wanting to be alone with the Lord, wanting to hear Him more, spend intimate time with Him. And we know that in the life of Jesus, Jesus would often be surrounded by a crowd because they wanted to hear what He had to teach, they wanted to receive healing, they wanted to draw close to Him. But there were times that the crowd was around, but Jesus would leave the crowd and go to a solemn and lonely place to spend time with the Lord. And everything that Jesus does really is an indication of what should happen in a Christian's life, of how we should be living our lives. And so when you feel called into a true retreat or a time of loneliness, don't feel like you're being weird or you're being antisocial, because that's actually something that is normal. Those who the Lord has set apart, there will be times where you will need to retreat. You will need to let go of everything and seek Him deeply for direction, for just intimacy, for the love of Him, for nothing but for the love of Him. And those who diligently seek Him, the Lord rewards. You love in the Lord. There are so many promises and so many blessings that come to you. One of the things that the Lord has been calling me into in this season has been the stillness, practicing stillness. And part of my retreat involved me taking these walks in nature and just appreciating God's creation, reflecting on the mercies of God, being still and hearing His voice more clearly. Sometimes it gets really busy, it gets really fuzzy. And just even breathing oxygen, being conscious of breathing. And it's actually raining currently, and even just feeling the raindrops on your skin, the journey of that raindrop, where it came from, where it's going, the cycle of life. And God's just really been calling me back into the detail of Him, the detail that He is, the greatness that He is, His creation, the reason we were called into such a time as this. And so I've been doing these walks, and it's been a blessing. And so retreat is something that every Christian should dive into every now and then. The Lord would call you into these as He deems fit. And retreats are different from fasts. Okay, so we have the fast, but then the retreats don't necessarily have the element of food, but just seeking deeper intimacy. You can add a fast to it, but it does not necessarily need a fast. And so when should you do a retreat? Number one, most definitely when you're about to make any major decision in your life. Retreat. Spend deep, intimate quality time with the Lord, and to ensure that the peace of the Lord goes with you as you make this decision. Second of all, when you're transitioning into a different season in your life, perhaps before you were not a parent and you're about to move into parenthood, when you are moving changing careers, when you are moving into a next level in your life in any regards, when you move into another season, retreat. And lastly, because you love Him, for deep intimacy with the Lord, because you want to know Him more, because you want to spend more quality time, not necessarily just praying, because maybe perhaps one of the major elements of a fast is praying spiritual warfare, but retreat doesn't necessarily include spiritual warfare. It's more so just an intimate, deep time of worship, and also retreats are necessary because we actually have retreats in every area of any relationships that we have. Having a deep intimacy with the Lord is important because actually, if you think of it, every relationship that you have, there is that element of having intimacy with the person you have a relationship with. And when I say intimacy, I don't mean sexual intercourse. I mean having a deeper relationship. So for instance, your friendships, you might just call each other on the phone every now and then, but then you also spend time with each other to maybe go away somewhere. That would be something like a retreat. In a marriage, you have your day-to-day routine, but then you also have your deep intimacy. Even at work, relationships, you have your 9 to 5, your day-to-day work relationships, but then they also have something called work socials, work outings, and that's again to increase the bond. And that's how it is even with our relationship with the Lord. You walk with the Lord every day, but every now and then you make an effort to retreat, to fast, to have a deeper intimacy with Him. So how would you conduct a retreat? Maybe you might ask me, how can I put this more into practice? And so an important aspect of a retreat is lowliness, solemnness, And you might say, well, Ruth, you know what? I have a really hectic life. I have a really, really busy life. It's really difficult for me to get the environment that I'm in. And I get that and I understand that. And, everybody's retreat will look different. So for you, for instance, if you say, well, I don't have the time to go on the mountains, because I know a friend of mine actually who recently retreated on a mountain. I don't have time to go on a mountain and stay there for 40 days and retreat there, just to be in solemnness. I can't do that because maybe I have got children, I've got a family, I've got work. I can't do that. So your retreat will look different from that person's retreat. What I personally do, or what you could maybe adapt, is that I do take time off work. I purposely take off annual leave, and the time that my children are in school, I have that solemn time. I have that time, a good couple of hours, to just spend time with the Lord. And even when they come back from school and I do my motherly duties, you know, in the evening, I again dive deep into the Word. And so, we have our own retreats and they may look different for each and every one. But the importance is you taking time out to focus on the Lord. Another thing that you should do during a retreat is to meditate, is to worship, and is to seek God. God is the reward of those who diligently seek Him. So you are seeking for deeper intimacy. So you're going into that retreat with a purpose, and He is the one who will lead that retreat, and He's the one who will let you know that it's done. You will know within your spirit that it is done. And I would commend anyone to do it because it literally changes you inside out, and you truly grow in the knowledge of God. And so retreats should be part of our spiritual walks, the same as fastings are part of our spiritual walks. And I've explained a little bit on what a retreat looks like. And then I think it will be also really beneficial if you look at what a biblical fast truly looks like and how to effectively fast. Because Jesus said, when you fast, the Pharisees asked the disciples, why are you not fasting? And Jesus said, because the bridegroom is with them now, but when he is gone, they will be fasting. And so it is important that we fast. And therefore, I would suggest you watch this video over here on fasting, and I shall see you over there. God bless you. Bye bye.